After spending the day with the Mercedes G550, we both want to own one of these beasts. But there are some problems with it. So here are some of the things we hate about it. First off, most people aren't actually going to buy these to go off-roading. They're gonna drive them on the road. So its on-road handling characteristics are absolutely terrible. It pulls 0.56 lateral Gs, which is one of the worst numbers I've ever heard. And watch this. I am vigorously turning the steering wheel back and forth with pretty much no input into the wheels. Yeah. You go around corners, it's terrifying. Handling, absolute garbage.
Looks like a brick, it drives like a brick. Second off, the technology in this car is rather abysmal. The screen here looks like they just took a cheap tablet from Walmart and just glued it on. It's not big, the graphics are horrible, the backup camera isn't that great, the center console is not designed nicely, there doesn't feel like a cohesive whole of, like in the new S-Class, everything flows together nicely. You have the screens integrated with some nice buttons and everything. That is not well done in a $120,000 car like this.
For a car that's this large and looks like a tank, you'd expect it to have good legroom. Unfortunately, in the back, it's pretty terrible. I mean, really terrible. Yeah. Yes, you've got good headroom, but it's also a very narrow vehicle, which means you feel a little bit closer to your passenger than you would like to be.
Next up is the power. It has a 5.5 liter naturally aspirated V8, which makes 382 horsepower. Now that's a decent amount, but at 5,500 pounds, it could use a little more. Yes, there are the AMG models and the new ones are going to be turbocharged, but at $120,000, you'd hope it would make a bit more horsepower. I mean, a $35,000 Mustang GT with a 5 liter V8 makes over 400 horsepower. I think they would at least get to that level. Our last complaint is the fact that this thing hasn't really changed in the last 35 plus years. The design, marginal updates, alright, woo, we put LEDs on it, but the shape is exactly the same. You gotta give it to Mercedes. This is a great business model. Design it, get the tooling, and you build it for 35 years and make tons of money.
I mean, it's a little bit like the Porsche 911. You're just improving on perfection in their eyes. But when you can count the updates on one hand from one generation to the next, yeah, it's a little bit crazy. In 2016, they did a redesign, which has like 4 changes to it. One big one is they're putting a twin turbo engine instead of naturally aspirated, but you know, little updates to the steering wheel and small aesthetic changes.
Because they're never did a full refresh, that's how you get the issue of like this screen that looks like it was just glued on there. If they had actually taken the time to rehaul the whole car, redesign it with modern updates and everything, it would be better off.
Well, I hope you found this video informative. Like always, please browse our channel and subscribe. Look forward to seeing you next video.
To